What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking out for tomorrow. I'm also going to break down their earnings report because their big day is today. Tesla has their webcast starting in just a few minutes, and we are seeing the stock price kind of run based off that. We're already at around 1,047 in the after hours, and we are kind of dropping to that 1,030 range. So right now, Tesla's running really hard. If you guys bought the dip, that would be a very, very good move. So I want to talk about what's actually going on before their earnings report starts. Obviously, they report other metrics out there, such as their revenue, their EPS, their profits. And you could see they absolutely crushed all expectations by a long shot, by miles. I want to actually talk about this first and talk about what I think is going to happen for tomorrow for the share price. Now, before I break this down, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, but the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're going to qualify for up to 6 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500. Once again, that's free money, and you could always sell those 6 free stocks for cash and buy some Tesla shares for free. So please check this out before the offer ends in 2 weeks. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So, guys, I do apologize because in my previous video, I did tell you that I thought Tesla would most likely run, and many technical indicators were showing this upward trend. I mean, you guys could see it right over here. Since we hit that bottom on, I would say, like the 14th, we ended up just pushing and pushing and pushing for almost an entire week. Many technical indicators were suggesting we'd keep on running up going into today, and I thought there would be a lot of excitement to push us up. But what happened was Netflix reported the fact that they did an absolutely horrible job in their latest earnings. I mean, if you actually look at what happened, you could see that Netflix they ended up losing subscribers for the first time in nearly a decade, and that did cause the stock price to drop over 30% in just one day. Once again, almost one third of the company, or like more than one third of the company, was shaved off in just one day after horrible earnings. And I did see reports that showed that Netflix was essentially blaming a lot of their customers for it. I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but I just wanted to put it out there that that had a very big domino effect on the market, and the whole market essentially took a bit of a hit. We saw a lot of stocks from Roblox to Neo to even the SPY ending up in the red, and Tesla also took a big hit, down almost 5%. So that is what just ends up happening because of this news, and a lot of people took advantage of this to short Tesla down again. There was a lot of puts that were actually bought, but what happened was many institutions may have known that Tesla was about to kill it on their earnings, so they brought the stock price down to buy in at a much cheaper price. They probably loaded the boat on these shares, and they're getting ready for a very, very quick trade they could have made. Maybe they loaded the boat on a lot of options too, call options at this very bottom. This is probably what they were doing, and as a result, we're seeing Tesla actually run well above that 1,000 range. We're actually at like 1,030 to 1,040 right now. We're doing very, very well. And the reason for that is because of this right here. The webcast hasn't started yet, but you could say that they already reported that their revenue grew 81% from last year. They absolutely killed it. If you go down right here, Elon Musk is going to be there during the webcast. I'm sure he's going to announce some very big things that make me very excited. And he also stated this. You could see the earnings per share was $3.22. That's much higher than the $2.26 expectation. You could see the revenue was $18.76 billion, way higher than the $17.8 billion expectation. I mean, they just killed it. They absolutely crushed it. People did not expect them to crush it by that margin. And once again, they continue to prove people wrong. If you go down to right here, early this month, Tesla reported their deliveries of 310,048 deliveries. Once again, that was still a fantastic number for the quarter because of the fact that there were all these supply chain issues. We saw inflation absolutely soar. We also saw the lockdowns crack up in China. So all these things were hurting the company, they were hurting the world. And yes, yet they delivered over 310,000 cars. On top of that, they just killed all expectations. I mean, a lot of people did not expect their profits to be that high. I mean, looking at this right here, their profit was destroyed. They absolutely crushed the expectations. They beat it by 147%. That's the increase compared to before. Production is up 69%. I mean, that is absolutely incredible compared to last year. That is very exciting news for Tesla's family and their big community. And on top of that, there's this massive backlog of orders. There's so many orders right now for their parts, for their cars and all that. So right now people may not even be able to get the new cars until 2023 because there's just this massive backlog. So as stated before, the company is just doing better and better and better. And many institutions probably knew that this would happen, so they pushed us down very hard. I mean, no one really expected that. Like I said before, we had this upward trend. Technical indicators showed we were most likely going to keep running. And that is what generally happens during these earnings reports. But then they pushed us down, which is an indicator that we're not going to continue dropping most likely. We're actually going to see a big reversal, and we could end up filling these key zones, these key gaps. So I actually want to talk about that in this video. So going back, let me actually close this real quick. You could see Tesla took a bit of a hit. None of us expected that. And we managed to close exactly or very close to where our strong support was at $975. We closed at 977, but technical indicators that are showing that this thing is bearish are not correct right now, because right now we're running based off earnings. And so far, it also depends on if Elon Musk announces something big, if there's bearish news. But as of right now, I find that very unlikely. And I just think this thing is going to push. It is possible, right? It's very possible this thing pushes well above that 1025 range. It continues to push and push and push. We may get that gap fill right over here at that $1,056 level. It's right here. And then we could push to that resistance level at 1070. We could get rejected right there, but then continue. And we may actually fill the gap around 1090 before getting rejected and closing around that 1070 to 1056 range. That's what I think is most likely going to happen. And I could be completely wrong. I understand that, but I am still very bullish going into tomorrow, right? I'm super, super bullish because I think that they just crushed all expectations despite all the issues they were facing, despite all the obstacles, and they proved to the world that they continue to defy the odds. So, what's very possible is we get a very, very explosive opening just like this. And then what could happen is we continue to push and push and push, then we see some sideways action. Then by midday, we get a bigger push up to that 1070 range. Can we break past that? It's going to be kind of tough, but I do believe we could actually do that. And we may actually push all the way up here for tomorrow to that 1090 range, then get rejected, kind of close, kind of like this. So I know the dates are kind of off, but just imagine that this is all just for tomorrow. I wanted to make the chart using the 2 hour candles because that's a lot better. But I would not be surprised if this thing actually pushed really, really explosively because it's looking very, very good right now. With that said, get ready for the big webcast. They may have some very big announcements. I'm going to talk about them tomorrow. And I am still very, very bullish. I mean, unless Elon Musk announces something big or there is some big piece of news that kind of slows them down, I don't see that as a very likely possibility. And I think it's much more likely that we're about to push to the moon starting tomorrow. So I can't wait. With that out of the way, get ready for tomorrow and get ready for the big webcast because big announcements should be made. With that out of the way, I want to thank you all for listening. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.